I know that you guys love the color grading topic, and today I'm back with a color grading video. Today we are going to talk about storytelling, how to use color grading for better storytelling in photography. So how to tell the right stories thanks to the colors you are going to choose, thanks to how you are going to edit your colors, and therefore it also means that your color grading is going to evoke a specific emotion to the viewer, to the people that see your photos. So first of all, what's really important before thinking about color grading is to think about what is the story of your image. And I've noticed that based on my students, especially my students from my color grading course, that a lot of them, they've never been thinking about what is the story of the image before starting to edit. And that's the reason why a lot of you are struggling to edit your photo because you don't know how to start, you don't know when it's done, you don't know if you are over editing, because you didn't think before opening the software, sometimes even before shooting the photo, you didn't think about what is the story of my image. And so I've been giving a few questions to my students, and I'm going to give you the same question right now. So take a pen and paper, and before starting an edit, reply to those questions. What made you stop and take this photo? What caught your eye? Was it the light, a mood, a color, a person, a moment? Just reply to this question. Second question. What emotion do you want this photo to convey? Happiness, nostalgia, mystery, calm, excitement, melancholy? Write down. Third question. What story or message are you trying to tell with this image? And fourth question, what do you want people to notice first when they look at the photo? When you answer those questions before editing your photo, it's going to give you a pretty good idea of how to edit the photo. And then you are not stuck anymore on how should I edit this photo? How should I color grade the photo? Because you know what you want to convey, what you want to tell with your photo. So that's something I teach inside of the Color Code, my color grading course for photographers. And here are some screenshots from the comment section where I talk about the question to ask yourself before editing. I thought that was interesting to share the screenshot because usually if you don't practice that, you think that's just a useless step to do. And once you do it, it's kind of a light bulb moment. So I hope that you took note of those questions I gave you and that you are going to practice that from today. Now let's get back to our color grading topic. Once you replied your question, you're gonna have to choose a color harmony that fits the vibe you want for your photo. Choosing a color harmony, usually it's a very good thing to do because at least you don't need to guess if the photos are working well together or not. You just follow a rule. But first you need to follow which rule you are going to follow. And each color harmony gives a vibe depending on which one you choose. So I wanted to show you a file that I also give to my students inside of the Color Code course. This is this file with the different color harmonies with photos that shows this color harmony in action. So for example, the analogous color harmony, I would say that in something very calm, organic, peaceful, atmospheric. It's also something I would use if I wanted to convey something nostalgic because colors are adjacent to each other. There is no tension in the image thanks to the colors. Here you can see that's two of my image using analogous color scheme. Here is a photo from Joanna Kustra, who is a photographer I really admire, and here she's using analogous color scheme. Then, of course, complementary, something that creates a strong contrast, without the overwhelm. It's still very balanced, but the colors always work very well together because they are opposite colors. So here we have the very famous teal and orange that was trending on Instagram years ago. Here, blue and yellow, orange. Of course, on those photos. Something else I find very interesting, this is the square color harmony, completely the opposite of what I talked about before with analogous and complementary color scheme, because here we have 4 colors evenly placed on the color wheels. So it's like 2 complementary colors, but usually it's used to create a complete, colorful, dynamic composition in something that is used for bold and adventurous look. And you can see how it looks like here. I really love the Joker image here. The colors are very beautiful, and that use the square complementary color scheme. Here, this is one of my photo as well, and here a portrait from Sabine Fischer. Triadic, it has a similar vibe. It's not something you use to evoke peace, calm, quiet atmosphere. It's something you use for dynamism. I personally think that Triadic works very well for a science fiction vibe, and actually superheroes often have triadic colors on their clothes, as you can see with Superman here. So yeah, this tool here is also inside of my color grading course called the Color Code. The link will be in the description. But all that to say that choosing the right color harmony will help you to evoke the right emotion, the right story into your photo. Then once you chose the right color harmony, the only thing you have to do is to manipulate the colors inside of your favorite editing software to match the color harmony that you chose and the story that you chose before starting the edit. So basically all the tips I just gave you it's like you are creating a map to edit your photo to tell the right story. So if you have never done that before, I highly encourage you to try this on your next edit right after this video or a few days from today, and see what changed in the way your photos look. I'm pretty sure that your photos are going to look more intentional and then talk more to your viewer. Everything I've explained in this video is exactly what I teach more in depth and in practice inside of the Color Code, my color grading course for photographers. I will add the link in the description, and no matter if you are a beginner or advanced, the Color Code has helped hundreds of photographers to finally master color grading with a method that is really simple and repeatable all of your photos, and this is what makes the strength of this method.